heritage, our DNA. And our history. And here we are standing on the top of the cosmic mind. And I'm here to witness the greatest moments of our memory. And hello, we meet again. I see you, and I see me.
Voice listener, welcome back to a special episode of VOI Talk on Voice of Indonesia. And right now, voice listener, as you know, Indonesia is making itself a self-sufficient, make themselves a self-sufficient country for food. And to know more about this with the theme of today, food self-sufficiency, innovation and adaptation to climate change in Indonesia. Right now we have Professor Rizaldi Bor, the director of the International Research Institute for Environmental and Climate Change in IPB University. Pak Rizal, how are you today?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you very much. Very happy to be in this channel.
Okay, Pak Rizal. So without any further ado, in today's Indonesia especially, the impact of climate, as well as we know right now in the province of Indonesia and the country of Indonesia, is having quite heavy rain itself. And the impact of the climate change on the agricultural sector is increasingly evident, as we can see right now, in the context of national food self-sufficiency. And what is the biggest threat we are facing and will face if adaptation strategies are not immediately strengthened for Indonesia?
Yeah, I think if we are talking about the climate change, I think the impact of climate change can go through three type of threat. One is actually, we call it the permanent impact. Permanent impacts is, as we know, because of reducing the land due to the sea level rise. And the second is the continuous impact. The continuous impact, it means actually the change in the shift of the season change from rainy season change, for example, from October to delay to November or earlier. And the most one, which is more have big threat, is we call it discontinuous impact. The discontinuous impact is actually the increasing the frequency and intensity of extreme climate event, such drought, flood, including also the global phenomena like El Nino, La Nina. And I think, of course, we know that already this kind of event have reduced crop yield, particularly rice, yeah. So the water stress, inundation, had pest and disease pressures. But the other one, actually, the threat that we have now, actually, we look at what's happening now, especially the large conversion of agricultural land to non-agricultural land. And this actually the structural challenge that we have, yeah. And also the progressive of land degradation also happening in many parts of the agriculture centers because of intensive monoculture practices. And we know that more than 50% of agricultural land in Java and part of Sumatra has organic soil below 2%. And so the total nitrogen is below 0.2%. What it means? Actually, the soil, our the soil condition now is actually severely degraded. And I think that's very important also how actually we can return the soil health. So research in China is very clear. I think where when crop actually grow in very bad quality of soil, and the productivity are very unstable and very reduce the ecological resilience. I think it's very important. I think we have made a transition. I think toward the polyculture and agroforestry system. So the system also need to enhance the soil health and also diversify the income sources and also buffer the climate impacts through improved microclimate and ecosystem services. And I think this is actually the big threat that we have now, I think.
Okay, so, but Parizal, many food self-sufficiency programs still focusing on increasing the production. In your opinion, how should food policy be changed to ensure it is not only productive but also resilient in the long-term climate crisis? Maybe like the food preservation, to be exact, is the next program that we should have.
Yeah, I think in this category are very critical how we can really accelerate. I mean, the innovation. I think that the technology on agriculture, which is more tolerant to environmental stresses, need to be enhanced and accelerated. I think, of course, in the practical and farmer-centered perspective, I think the most realistic innovations are those directly to reduce production risk and cost, but also improving yield under the climate stress. Yeah, I think the key innovation is the adoption of climate-resilient crop varieties. I think that are tolerant to drought, flooding, salinity, and pest and diseases while requiring less water and fertilizer. I think these are the most important innovations that we need to do. And IPB University in this context actually have done quite a lot of research in this. We also just found one of the varieties, rice varieties. We call it IPB 9 Garuda Climate Smart Rice Varieties, which is, I think it is represent one of the most impactful low-cost innovation that we have now. I think from our research test, I think this kind of varieties actually have 10 to 20% high yield, which is reach about 11 ton per hectare. But now the average of yield is only just 6 ton per hectare, so it's almost double. But at the same time, also need less water, which is about just require only less 20% than the normal varieties, and also reduce also the use of fertilizer. So so exactly from our research, it is quite clear actually the farmers have higher benefit of adopting this kind of technology. Of course, we also in the context of addressing the problem of sea level rise, the salinity of soil, and I think that the innovation on salt tolerant varieties are also very important. I think we also have produced one of the good varieties for this, which actually have the yield potential between 7 to 11.5 ton per hectare, and also some other varieties for the perennial crops. Yeah. And I think there are other issues that I just mentioned regarding about the problem of soil degradation that we are also facing. I think it's also very important how we can really accelerate also the recovery of soil health. So the application of biofertilizer, for example, now we also have a technology how we produce from the waste, agricultural waste, to produce the biochar, but enriched with rhizobacteria and endophytic fungi. So it also can promote also the nitrogen fixation by the soil, also improve the microbe activity in the soil. So it also can return the soil health. And the other also that we also have done in terms of support the farmer also how to use the climate information services. So this also, we know that the climate has become more uncertain. It's very important how they can make use of the climate information to anticipate the climate risk. So now, we also introduced in our field laboratory in one of the village to introduce the use of automatic weather station to monitor the local condition, and also use that one to predict pest and disease outbreak. And the farmers are very happy because the village leader also adopt that and put that in the website, and everyone can access this. And through this simple application, they can also make kind of prediction to what actually the threat of disease and pest attack for the crop. So the farmer can also do more anticipation for that. And of course, I think the other very important also to diversify also the monoculture to polyculture type of system, because it is more resilient to the impact of climate change. Yeah, I think this actually is the thing that probably need to be done. Yeah.
Okay, Pak Rizal. And as we know, for listener, IPB University is known for its actively developing climate and agricultural research. I mean, in Indonesia, it stands for Institut Pertanian. So, what innovation are most realistic and the fastest impact to help the farmers adapt to extreme weather without burdening their production costs? Is there like any programs from the students and maybe the campus over there to help the farmers around Indonesia?
Yeah, that's the thing that I just explained it to you. Actually, there are many type of innovations that we have, especially in producing variety, which also need less water, but with high productivity, including also less fertilizer. So these are very important. One of this kind of innovation, and the other also increase the capacity of the farmers, how they can also anticipate the potential impact of climate risk in a particular season. That is also important. How we can also enhance the farmer capacity in using the climate information to manage the climate risk. Yeah. And the other also is kind of like technology, how we can also improve the soil fertility using the biofertilizer, because it's very important rather than using the chemical fertilizer. So we know that the balanced fertilizer are very critical now. I think we also introduce this kind of technology, and so it also boosts the productivity of the crop, and also lessen the impact of climate change. Yeah. So in terms of the policy, just asking about the policy, I think it's very important how we can really integrate the subsidy policy with the innovation. Yeah, how we can accelerate the adoption of good agriculture practices or technology by introducing new type of subsidy policy. Yeah. So this is also one of the important policies that need to be in place, yeah. And I think also introducing like weather-induced agriculture insurance, for example. So weather-based index insurance that has been well known in many parts of the countries. I think this also need to be start also to be introduced here. Also can help also farmers how they can make use of the insurance to protect them in the bad years, but at the same time they can also adopt the good agriculture practices to boost their productivity in the good years. So in the case where actually the weather are bad, with this weather-based insurance index means that they can get a payment not because of the crop failure, but because of the bad weather. But if they have better technology, can survive in the bad weather, they still can get a payment from the insurance, because the payment triggered not because of the crop failure, but because of the index that being met. So I think this also type of policies that might also need to be in place, how we can also accelerate the adoption of the adaptation technology, which is already available now. Yeah.
Okay, so Pak Rizal, maybe for the final question for today's interview, I would like to ask you, as a closing note, Professor, what key message would you like to deliver to policymakers, farmers, and the younger generation regarding the urgency of our food adapting systems to climate change in order to secure Indonesia's food self-sufficiency in the future? And the last one is, in the next 5 to 10 years, what is the single most crucial steps in making sure that Indonesia have food sufficiency?
Yeah, I think the most critical strategic step, to strengthen multi-stakeholder collaboration. I think the government policy and subsidy must be aligned with academic innovation, particularly in scaling up the climate smart technology, soil ameliorant technology that already explained, including also the polyculture or mixed agriculture system. And I think the most critical one, actually, how we can also enhance the extension services program, because the extension services program play a pivotal role, I think, in assisting farmers to adopt the good agriculture practices and also effective use of the climate information for risk management. And I think on this through the integrated approach, I think combining policy support, scientific innovation, and farmers level capacity building, I think Indonesia can build a resilient food system. It is capable of withstanding climate change while maintaining long-term productivity and sustainability.
Okay, thank you so much, Professor Rizal, for sharing your insight with us here in Voice of Indonesia VOI Talk. And so, VOI listener, your Professor Rizal perspective reminds us that food self-sufficiency is not merely about increasing production, but also providing resilience through science, innovation, and collaboration amid the realities of the climate change in Indonesia. And we hope today's discussion can inspire stronger policies and agricultural practices and greater public awareness in Indonesia's food self-sufficiency. Thank you so much for listener and RRNet viewers for accompanying me in this special episode of VOI Talk. And I'll see you in another episode of VOI Talk, only on Voice of Indonesia, from Indonesia to the world.